Hi there. Do you remember me?
Do I remember you? Could you refresh my memory? Have we met before?
I'm the guy who came into your restaurant recently. You were working there. Does it ring a bell?
Hang on, I think I remember you. Did we talk to each other?
Yeah, we had a brief conversation and we exchanged numbers.
I remember. I wasn't actually sure of your name, so I saved your number as the guy I met in the restaurant. But here you are again. Nice to talk to you.
That's cute. The guy you met in the restaurant. Well, you are kind of a cute girl and you looked really nice that day. I'm really into girls like you. You're just my type, so I thought we could make friends. Actually, my name's Thomas. I think I even gave you my business card. You seemed very happy when I gave it to you.
Oh, did I? Yeah, I remember. Sorry, I didn't check the name on the card. But thank you, you're being very nice to me. You know, I'm not really that cute. I'm just an average-looking girl in her 20s.
Oh, come on, what are you talking about? You're really cute. As cute as a button. Actually, I go to that restaurant a lot because the food there is really good. I'm a regular customer, so I'm surprised you don't recognize me. I often come in and have a sandwich and some coffee. You should be proud of that place. It does good business and it's really popular with all the right kind of people. Personally, if I was in the restaurant business, I would open something like that. But what do I know? Anyway, I always enjoy my time in there. It's a cool place. The atmosphere is good and I can get my own table, read a book, or do some work. And also, maybe I go there to see you.
Oh, really? Sorry, I don't usually remember customers' faces. We have a lot of customers, so it's difficult to remember who's who. If someone comes in a lot, then I might remember them. But I don't really remember you. Well, I kind of remember you.
It's okay, just from now on, maybe try and remember me. I was hoping that we can get to know each other better. You never know, maybe something could happen between us. We might be made for each other. Strange things happen in this world. Things stranger than you could ever imagine. People meet in the strangest of ways, but it's just the universe telling you that you are meant to be together. I've been waiting a long time to meet a pretty face like yours. So I saw my chance and I couldn't resist but to take it. I'm sure you get a lot of attention from a lot of guys. What time do you usually finish work?
Usually about 8 o'clock, unless we're running late. In which case I might have to stay a little later. It can be quite tiring, actually. I'm at work from when we open to when we close, so it's 8 o'clock in the evening when I usually finish.
Oh, 8? Yeah, that's quite late. I've got an idea. Maybe I could wait for you. I could just wait around until you finish. Maybe I could even do it every day. I just want to see more of you. And it's a little bit lonely to go home on your own. You could say it's dangerous. I could accompany you and look after you. Make sure nothing bad happens.
Wow, that's a really nice suggestion. But you don't have to do that. I'll be okay by myself. And also, it would be kind of inconvenient for you. I don't want to bother you.
No, it's fine, really. It would actually be a pleasure for me. In fact, I'd do this for any girl that I really liked. Especially a girl I fell in love with at first sight. I think it's actually a great opportunity for us. And I'm really hoping we can see more of each other from now on. I know, maybe I'm being a little bit forward. And I don't want you to feel uncomfortable. So we can take it slow. There's no need to rush things, is there? What do you think?
Well, okay, it sounds good. How could I say no?
Hi, how are you?
Oh, hi, I'm fine.
Good, I just wanted to make sure you're okay.
Oh, thanks, it's so nice of you.
How about the parcel I gave you? Have you opened it yet?
No, not yet, but I've got it here. I was actually just about to open it.
Go on then, have a look inside.
Wow, Gucci? Is this really Gucci?
Yeah, of course. I got it for you. I just saw it and I thought it'd be perfect for you. I bet it'll really suit you. I went to the mall with some friends of mine and we did some shopping. My friend asked me to go into the Gucci store with him. At first I didn't want to go, but then I thought, Why not? It won't hurt to go and look. So we went inside and we had a look around. My friend was totally crazy about some Gucci shoes. Then I saw the scarf and suddenly thought of you. I thought, wow, I know a girl who would look great in this. It would suit her eyes, skin, and facial features. So I bought it there and then. You might call it an impulse buy. Maybe I should regret going into that Gucci store with my friend. It cost me a lot of money. But I think you're worth it. You know how much I like you. As they say, beautiful girls deserve beautiful things. Why don't you try it on? I'm sure you'll like it.
Okay, I will do. But hang on, wait a minute. Gucci, it's expensive. I mean, how much was this? It can't have been cheap. It's a designer brand. Why are you spending all this money on me? And the dinner you paid for tonight, it was expensive. I almost feel guilty.
Yeah, but if I'm spending money on you, then I'm not going to hold anything back. If I'm spending money on someone I really like, then I think it's money well spent. It's worth it.
Wow, Thomas, you're certainly not a guy who does things by halves. It's actually really meaningful for me. I have a difficult life story. I was an orphan when I was younger. I lost my way in life and didn't even graduate from high school. I was just drifting here and there aimlessly with no direction in life. If I'd gone to a good university like you, then maybe my life would have been different. On the other hand, you became a software engineer at Apple. That's a really amazing job. I have to be so frugal with money, always thinking about what I buy. I could never afford something like this.
It's nothing. When you're buying for someone you like, then there should be no limit. I've already said I fell in love with you at first sight. I've liked you all this time. Can you appreciate my true feelings for you? Do you know how much I like you? Do you understand the depth of my affection?
Wow, you like me this much? It's amazing. I'm completely shocked.
At first, I was attracted to your cute face. As we got to know each other, I fell more and more in love with your personality. Remember that time we walked along the river together hand in hand? It was a long way. I'm sorry about that, actually. I could tell that you were tired, but didn't want to say anything. It was a bit cold that day, too. I didn't realize how far it was going to be. I kept thinking we were nearly there. Anyway, it was a romantic time, don't you think? It was one of my fond memories that I will never forget. And since then, my feelings for you have grown and grown. Now, I like everything about you. We see each other all the time. I think it's time for us to be open about it. Move forward to the next stage.
Don't you worry that you're taking things a little too quickly? Don't you worry you'll regret it in the future?
I'd regret it if I didn't follow my heart. There's no point getting old, looking back on your life, wondering what could have happened if only you had taken a chance.
Wow, that's brave of you. Well, to be honest, I've been thinking about this a lot myself too. I should follow my heart and do what I really want to do. Are you free soon? How about we meet each other? I've been missing you.
I'd love to. Soon. I'll do my best to make sure you don't regret this decision. I'm a good guy. You can rely on me. I don't lie or play games. And I've got a good job. I can look after a lovely lady like you. I'm sure you've enjoyed our time together, and I think you know me now. Next time we meet, we'll have an even better time. As time goes by, our feelings will only be stronger and stronger, deeper and deeper. Oh, it's been so wonderful talking to you. I need to get up tomorrow for work, so I'll have to go to sleep now. I think I'm in love with you, Susan.
Hello, is this Susan's phone number? Did I text the right number?
Yeah, that's right, it's me. Who is this?
Oh, wonderful, I got the right number. I was worried I'd saved it incorrectly. Good fortune if you ask me. Let me introduce myself. I'm Thomas's mother. I live on the other side of town from you. I was a housewife for most of my life. My husband was quite wealthy, so I didn't need to work. Now I just enjoy my retirement. Sometimes I go for a walk in the park, sometimes I travel. Other times I go to expensive restaurants with my friends. I'm sure in time you'll get to know me more and I can tell you all about my life story. I was just calling because I wanted to have a conversation with you. I got your number from Thomas. I was a bit unsure, but finally I decided to contact you. I hope you're well. There aren't any problems, are there?
Oh, Thomas's mother? Hello, nice to meet you. I'm Thomas's girlfriend, Susan.
I know. He's always talking about you. It seems he is really in love. He's always telling us how beautiful and lovely you are, so I'm really happy about it all. He has had some troublesome girlfriends in the past, some playgirls. There was a girl he loved a few years ago. It was love at first sight. They met in a bar and he thought they were going to last and become a couple. But she had other plans. After a short while, it seems she got bored of him and went off with another guy. Thomas told me the other guy was rich, but I think maybe he was just being paranoid. It's so hard to find a nice girl like you these days. I tell my friends, and they're all jealous that my son has a girlfriend as nice as you. I'm almost tired of hearing about it.
Well, you can be assured I'm a good girl.
That's right. I should be a little bit more laid back about this whole affair. By the way, how old are you? I can't remember exactly.
I just turned 29 this year.
29. What a wonderful time. You're still full of youth. You should make the most of your life while you're young. Many people waste their lives thinking they'll be young forever. Make sure you don't make that mistake. When you're young, you should do your best to find a nice guy. Work hard, save some money, and of course try to have some fun while you're at it. Then when you get to 30 or so, you need to start being serious. You're not a little girl anymore. You're an adult. You're a similar age to Thomas, so I'm happy about that. What about your parents? What do they do?
My parents... Actually, I don't have any parents. It's a sad story. When I was young, they both died in an accident. So during my youth, I lived with my grandmother.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to bring that up. I didn't realize. He hadn't told me about that. That was a faux pas by me, I'm sorry.
Oh no, it's fine, it's nothing. It was a tragedy, but I've come to terms with it, and it was a long time ago. Life has been difficult, but I can handle it.
Your grandmother must have been a good person. I'm sure she looked after you well. You grew up to be such a lovely girl, so you must have had a good upbringing. I would love to meet you in person. I would invite you to my home, but I think it would be a bit troublesome for me. I may live in a grand house, but I don't usually invite people over. Only special people. I like to think of this as my palace, a sacred place where I can entertain only the finest of guests. Maybe one day you'll be one of those guests. I certainly hope so. You could come over and we could have a great time together, drinking coffee or wine and talking. Sadly, that day will not be today, but keep it in mind, it will happen in the future. So maybe we can meet somewhere else. When would be a good time? I heard that you're busy working every day.
Yeah, I work every day until quite late in the evening. But it would be okay at the weekend. Morning, noon, or night. Any time is okay with me. Just call me and we can arrange something.
Okay, that sounds good. How about this weekend? I know a really nice restaurant with a great view. We can meet there, me, you, and Thomas. I'd love to finally get to see you.
Seems like a good plan. I'll see you then. I had a really great meal today thanks to you. I could see what your mother was talking about when she said the restaurant had a nice view. I've literally never been to such a nice restaurant.
Really? Well, I'm glad you're happy. How about the food? Delicious? You just seem to nibble at it.
What are you talking about? It was really good. I'd have never experienced such luxury before, and it's all thanks to you. Really, these days I'm so happy. I'm so lucky to enjoy all these things.
Didn't you think that my mother was asking too many questions? Come to think of it, she's always like that, and she seems to be getting worse. I remember a few years ago when I was dating another girl, she did the same thing. Nagging and pestering for answers about questions that you shouldn't really ask someone when you first meet them. I tried to persuade her not to do it, but she wouldn't listen to me. Women have a mind of their own, especially women of her age. I hope you can understand and forgive her. As people get older, they get more curious about these things. I hope it didn't spoil the mood.
No, absolutely not. I just wasn't sure if this was normal to talk about these things when you first meet people. I was a little bit surprised, but it is your mother, so I can understand. How much money do you earn? What are your wedding plans? It was a bit strange, but it didn't bother me.
Oh, well, that's good to hear. I did think of something, though, and I wanted to ask you about it. It's a matter of great importance that's been weighing on my mind for some time now. I've been going over it again and again in my mind, just not sure when the best time to talk about it was. It's a problem we often face in life, but in the end, we must make bold decisions. As far as I'm concerned, now is the time, and I can feel it in my heart. I know this may be quite bold of me, but I feel I need to ask. Have you thought about marrying me? You and I being together forever, being one.
If I'm being honest, I have thought about it, and seeing as though you've brought it up, maybe now is a good time to talk about it. I'm crazy about you, that's true. But I think first we should continue our relationship for a few years before we think about marriage. After a period of time, I'm sure our future will become more clear. And then I hope we can get married. What do you think? Do you think it'll happen?
Oh, come on, I don't like it when people beat around the bush. You should be honest and open with your thoughts, especially when dealing with important people. How long have I known you for now? It seems like a long time, and we've been getting closer and closer. If you aren't straight with people, it can come across as a sign of disrespect. I don't mean to be cruel to you, but I think that is the case. What do you think? Do you think this manner of talking is the best way to go about things? It would be better if you could give me a straight answer. Are you going to marry me or not?
We've only known each other for 3 months. I know that some people fall in love and get married after just a few months, but for me, I'd like to take my time and really get to know you. There's still so much for us to learn about each other. Above all, it's so nice that we've started to talk about marriage in a positive fashion. We are still young. Let's take it slow. If you rush, you might get hurt.
It seems like a reasonable suggestion. No, sorry, am I being impatient? It's just, I love you so much I can barely sleep. Okay, I get it. We shouldn't rush things. But sometimes in life, some things just seem like the right thing to do, no matter what others say. I think you should always follow your gut feeling because deep inside you know what you want. If you think too much, then you will never make a decision. There is just too much to think about. If you wrote it all down, you'd be there forever. Sometimes the only thing to do is take a leap of faith and go with your instinctive choice. I understand what you're saying. I know there is so much more that we can learn about each other. We'll leave it at that for now.
Susan, did you remember that we're gonna meet each other today?
Yes, I remembered. Should I come to your house today? It might be a bit tiring if you go out, so maybe I should come to you.
Oh, no, don't come over here. The house is nice, but it's a bit untidy at the moment. I'd be a bit embarrassed if you saw it. I'll clean it really well and then you can come over.
Don't worry, I don't mind if it's a little bit untidy. If I come over, I can even help you clean it a bit.
No, really. Next time you can come over. I look forward to welcoming you as part of our household. It'll be so wonderful to have a lovely girl like you here with us. A shining, beautiful lady to grace us with her presence. If you marry my son, then this house will be yours too. There's no need to rush, is there?
What do you mean? If I marry your son, then the house will be mine too?
Oh, you didn't talk about this? I talked about it with Thomas. We've had this agreement for over a year now. If you marry into our family, then the home will be jointly yours.
Really? Are you sure?
What a strange reaction. It sounds like you hadn't heard of this before. I presumed that our Thomas would have discussed the details with you. Oh well, maybe he forgot. He is a forgetful boy. He often doesn't do as he's told. I tried to raise him to be an organized and sensible boy, but sadly his memory isn't the best. Are you telling me you hadn't even thought about this?
In all honesty, I hadn't really thought about it. Up until now, I've been working and saving some money. Thomas also said he had a small amount of money. So I thought that if we got married, then we'd rent a house or maybe even buy something small ourselves.
Come Come on! What are you talking about? You didn't even know? Just think for a moment. How much does a house cost these days? A lot! Hundreds of thousands of dollars. Have you saved up hundreds of thousands of dollars? Working in a restaurant for a year? No chance. I bet you didn't even manage to save a few $1,000s. The cost of living has been going up so much in recent years. It's getting harder and harder for young people to save up and then buy a house. I know there are some schemes to help young people, but it is not enough. Many people of my age are worried about the youth. Many of us see it as a responsibility to look after our children and help them buy a house. So if you join our family and live in this house, you'd have an even easier time saving money. You can live here, work, and save money at the same time. It would be a really great thing for you two, don't you think?
Well, actually, come to think of it, maybe you're right. It seems to be a good idea.
It seems that if you get married, then you don't really have a choice. Why the hesitation? You can come and live here. You would be more than welcome. What do you think? You don't have to give an answer now, but please remember this.
Okay, I will do.
Are you coming back late today? It's been 8 hours and I still haven't got any news from you. Where are you? You know I get worried when you're out late. You should always send me a message to let me know where you are and that you're safe. I was so worried I even thought about calling the police.
Grandma, I'm coming back to the house as we speak. Don't worry.
Really? Oh, good. Have you eaten your dinner?
No, I haven't eaten yet. I'm actually quite hungry.
It's this late and you still haven't eaten. What on earth have you been up to? You must be really hungry. When you get back, you'll need a big meal.
Grandma, there's something I want to talk about.
What is it, dear?
It's about marriage. I'm not sure if now is the right time for me to get married.
Really? Why? What happened? It must have been something big.
I've been with a guy for about a year now. During this time, he's been pressing me to marry him. His mother told me that if I married him, then I could live in their house. I've always wanted a home of my own. Maybe this is my chance. Sometimes he gets a little angry, and the house might be a little untidy. I just thought I'd mention it. I felt a little uncomfortable, that's all.
It's no big deal. Don't worry about it. Do what your heart tells you to do. If you don't want to do it, then just don't do it. When I was young, it was normal for women to get married when we were young. But looking back, maybe that wasn't such a good idea. Many of us ended up in unhappy marriages that were destined to fail. Just think about it and decide what you want to do. Don't waste your time stressing over it. Try to make sure that the stressful thoughts don't take control of your life. Let's stop talking. Hurry up and get home. You can eat your dinner when you get here. I've cooked your favorite dish.
Okay, Grandma, I'll come as quick as I can. Oh, you changed your profile picture. It's a photo from when you were a child. It's totally adorable. It looks like a cute throwback photo. Where did you find it? But who's that girl next to you? I've never seen her before. Is it a girlfriend you had when you were younger? Maybe before you met me?
Oh, no, it's not. Have I not told you before? This is my sister.
Really? You have a sister? I never knew.
Yeah, I have a sister. I miss her a lot. But when we were younger, she used to cause a lot of trouble. We would argue all the time. So, one day, Mom flew into a rage and sent her off to study abroad in England. She's still over there living her life. She even got married to an English girl.
Oh, really? Sounds like it could have been stressful. I hope you weren't hurt by it all.
Me and my mother were a bit hurt by it. It was unavoidable, really. She didn't really contact us that often. That made me sad, too. By the way, did you arrange to meet with my mother today?
Yeah, that's right. We arranged to meet tonight. Also, I was wondering, we've been together for over a year now. When are you going to invite me over to your house? We've even agreed to get married. We can't keep meeting in restaurants like we have done. We keep going to fancy places, and I feel a little bit guilty about spending Mother's money. Wouldn't it be better if we just met at your house?
Did you speak to my mother about this before? The house isn't very tidy right now, so it's not really a good time for you to come over. I know you want to come over, but you'll just have to wait a little longer. At some point in the future, I'll invite you over. I'll let you know when it's a good time. When that time comes, I'll show you everything. You won't regret it.
How dirty can it be? It can't be that bad. I'm going crazy thinking about it.
If you came over now, you'd be so shocked that you'd want to run away. So listen, my princess. I know you're desperate to know, but just wait a little longer, please. Oh, and also, honey, I'm curious about something. Did you listen to what I was just talking about? I know, it's a bit of a serious topic.
I'm a girl who works in a restaurant. I hear people's private business all the time. It's nothing. I can deal with it. I've got the strength to accept these kinds of things. Why do you ask? Are you worried about me?
A little. I was just wondering, actually. I like a girl who is a little bit tough, someone who can handle life's difficulties. You know I like everything about you. This is just another thing for me to appreciate. I'm happy about this.
Hello. I'm trying to contact Thomas's girlfriend. Have I got it right? Susan, is it you? Yes, that's right. Who is it? It's me, Judy. I'm Thomas's sister. Thomas's sister? Really? The girl who ran away to England? Is that right? Ran away? Is that what he told you? Oh, no, it's not that. I heard your story and it just seemed that you caused a few problems for the family. You went away to England and lived there having a nice life. You didn't even contact your family back home in America. I even heard that you got married over there. Oh, and how did you get my contact details? It's a bit strange, you calling me out of the blue. I was just looking around Facebook and I found you. I thought I should get in contact with you. It seemed like the natural thing to do. In fact, there was something I wanted to talk to you about. Really? What is it? You should escape while you can. What do you mean? Escape? What if they heard you talking about this? What would they think? Really? I'm warning you. You need to get out of there as soon as possible. Did they tell you why I left? Did they tell you how badly they treated me? Violence and abuse, that's how they treated me when I was in America. Even when they didn't do it, I was always living in fear. Really? What happened? Once I went out to meet my friends and came home late. When I got back to the house, my brother got angry. So he beat me and then locked me in my room. I even had a part-time job to earn some money. But they took it all from me. So I had no choice but to escape. I couldn't take the torment anymore. I went to England and I never came back. Also, they would mistreat our older brother. Wait, your older brother? You have two brothers? Who are you talking about? Does Thomas have another brother? I heard that you're gonna get married soon, but you have never been to his house. Yeah, that's true. Yes, it's true. We have another brother. He has severe autism and he can't communicate. He's been like this all his life. He needs permanent care from someone else. He can't look after himself. Do you know the news about my mother? My mother has terminal cancer. She doesn't have long to live. If she died, then there would be no one to look after my older brother. So they need a replacement, and I think that's what they want from you. Thomas wants to control you, so that's why he wants to marry you. My older brother is always at home crying out, so that's why they didn't invite you over to the house. What is going on? How can this be true? It's already been a long time since I left America. It might seem crazy, the things that I'm telling you, but I hope you believe me. You need my help. Hurry, get away from those people while you still can. If you leave it too late, you'll never escape.
What are you up to now? What? How did you get in contact with Judy? How long have you known each other for?
If I had known her for a long time, do you think I'd be meeting you now? Do you think I would ever have met you? No, I would never have started a relationship with you.
What are you talking about, Susan? How on earth did you get in contact with Judy?
That's right, she told me everything. If my senses had been good from the beginning, I would have escaped long ago. I would never have started this relationship. But I was someone who could never see what was going on in front of me. I didn't have a sixth sense. But now I know when it's over.
What are you saying? Pull yourself together. I have no idea what she told you, but whatever it was nonsense. Or maybe you misunderstood. Just listen, I can explain everything. Give me a moment.
How could you treat a young woman like this? How could you beat her until she was black and blue? She was working hard when she was a student, doing a part-time job to bring some money home, and you just took it from her? She came home late one day and you abused and insulted her because of it? She couldn't take it anymore, so she ran away to England. She just wanted to live, so she ran away. And what would have happened if she hadn't run away? Maybe she would have died. And you have an older brother. Why didn't you tell me?
No, listen, I can explain everything. It's true, I have a brother. It was just a bit upsetting for me, so I didn't tell you. I was worried that if I told you, you would be disappointed by it. I deliberately hid it from you, and for this, I am sorry.
It's your brother. Don't you have the desire to care for him? Look after him? Isn't that normal? But instead, you denied he even existed. You hid a brother who was in pain when he needed someone to help him. And you know it's not normal to continuously pressure a girl into marriage.
Maybe you have a point. Maybe that wasn't the best way to go about things. But our Thomas has such a bright future ahead of him. I don't want him to be held back. What's more, he's done so much for me. He has cared for me. What is the problem here?
This is the problem. You don't have long left to live. Shouldn't you give him all your love until the very last day? You were so nice to me, buying me so many things. But now I know there was a reason for all this. How do you feel now? Your plan has fallen to pieces. I won't be marrying Thomas. It'll never happen. You know, I'm actually a clever girl. Until the day I die, I will live well. Live your life, and then on the day you die, close your eyes and fall into the fires of hell. Are you listening to me? No matter what happens, I don't want anything to do with you. Never contact me again. The only reason why Thomas's mother wanted me to marry her son was because she was terminally ill. She wanted me to look after her son who had autism. So she tried to get me to marry into her family. They had not planned to tell me about their son. It would have been a prison-like marriage. I would have thrown away my whole life. I insulted them, and rightly so, and then I blocked them. I had no concern for them at all and no desire to contact them again. I owe my whole life to the daughter who contacted me to save me. I owe my life to her, and I will forever be thankful. Thank you for watching. We hope you enjoyed the video. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.
I hope you get some rest in tonight. I'm sorry that I couldn't properly say goodbye earlier.
If you know that it's improper to just up and leave like that, you should have made your parents wait a little longer when I was in the bathroom. It didn't even take that long. How could you dare to just up and leave from a meeting like that? You have absolutely no manners with this one. I already don't really like you as my son's wife. You should be behaving more carefully from now on.
It's because your husband told us to go ahead and head out because you were taking too long in the bathroom. I thought it was okay to leave since he said that. I didn't know that he didn't let you know beforehand that we were leaving.
You should have told him that you were going to wait until I came back. I wanted to test you with how you're going to react with this. That's why I didn't go back to the table. How can you not even be able to wait for an extra 30 minutes?
I'm telling you, it wasn't that we just left because we were tired of waiting. It's because we were told it was okay to leave. That's why we left. But if you keep nitpicking on it when it wasn't really our fault but a part of a miscommunication, I don't know how to react to this. Also, if you don't come back for a good 30 minutes, we're going to start to think that you're not feeling too well. We're just trying to leave so that you won't have to deal with having to be in a formal sitting for any longer.
Stop making excuses. To me, it seems like you're nitpicking and making up excuses to make yourself look better. 30 minutes? Was it that hard to just wait for another 30 minutes? Knowing that we reserved an expensive restaurant like that for today? We paid for everything, too. You know that, right? If you know, then how can you act so rude and thoughtless toward me?
I know. Trust me, I do. But that's beside the point. You took this setting as a chance to say all kinds of rude things to me, talking about the difference in the level there is between Timothy and I.
If you know that, then how about you take this chance and learn your lesson? You should know your place, Jasmine. Our whole family works for the government, and my son has a federal job, too. But on the other hand, when it comes to you, you're just some girl that works in a smaller business company that's on its way to being fallen apart. Did you really think that you could be on the same level as us?
I think you're trying your best with this one to put me in my place or whatever, but nobody cares about what level or class you are nowadays. I hope that you'll be able to follow through with the newest trends that we have going on these days. Also, you keep talking about money and other this and that's, but if you're really that concerned about having to spare your own coin with helping us set up ourselves for our house and whatnot, I'll make sure that I won't ask for any help on your end and get a loan or whatever to deal with it on my own. Then you won't have to keep complaining about having to help out, right?
Do you think that I'm one of those mean mother-in-laws or something that wants to kick the daughter-in-law out of the house or something? I'm just telling you the truth, so why are you so amped up about it anyway? I can't even say anything because I'm afraid I might have offended you or something. It's true that your family is nowhere near all level, if you get what I mean.
Oh, goodness. I don't think I can keep talking to you like this. I'm starting to understand why you were talking about money and was so desperate to help out with this whole marriage. You're just trying to help out so that you'll have a reason to nitpick on when it comes to anything that might arise in the future. You just want to make sure that you can keep telling us and insulting us about how we're like beggars and don't want to get anything done on our own. You're trying to use us for your own self-esteem. That was your plan for this whole time. I'm not trying to get dragged around like that.
What did you just say? You really aren't afraid to say anything to me, huh? Just wait. I'm going to take a screenshot of all this and show it to Timothy. I can't believe you went this far to being rude to me. You'll regret this one day, Missy.
Sure, go ahead. I don't care what you do anymore at this point. I feel like I just keep repeating myself with the same thing over and over when I have to talk to you. I think you should find someone else to talk to instead.
Babe, what's going on? Did you bicker with my mom or something? She called me just now crying. I thought we were having a good time earlier. What happened?
Are you serious? You really think we were having a good time earlier? You must not have been paying attention.
Yeah, I mean, you were laughing the whole time.
Oh boy. Is it because you come from a prestigious family or something that you're having a hard time reading the room? Nope, there's no way. You don't necessarily act like you've got everything together like that either.
What do you mean by that? You're trying to make me mad, right?
Now that I'm talking bad about you, you decide to catch on, don't you? You need to really start realizing what's actually going on in the room. How can you think of any part of that meeting being a fun and enjoyable setting at all? Do you even know how uncomfortable my dad and I were, sitting there listening to all sorts of insults? Your mom literally treated us like we're hobos off the street. Sure, we don't have that much money because my mom was ill for a really long time. We lost a lot of money in the process. Then we went through a flood and lost even more money with that. We had to literally buy everything in the house again, ranging from furniture to electronics. We had no time to save up on any money. Your family already knows about all of this and what we went through, but she still wants to flash her class and money in our faces. And you just sat there without even knowing what was going on the whole time? You never once even tried to stop her from insulting us.
Well, at least you know.
What?
At least you know that you don't really have any money saved up on your end. That's why my mom wasn't too calculative about who pays more and who pays less. She didn't care about that. Don't take it too negatively. She didn't mean any harm.
How can you possibly say that she didn't mean any of what she said to us? She ended almost all of her sentences with, "It's probably because you're poor." And every time the next course meal was brought in, she would ask us, "Have you ever tried something like this before?" Then, when I went ahead and started talking about the town that we live in right now, She went as far as to say, "Doesn't that town have a lot of shootings and crimes because of how poor it is?"
She said that because she was worried about you guys.
Oh, did you really take that as that way? Then you're part of the problem too. Wake the hell up. How do you not understand that she was implying things with every single word that she said to us? You're literally over 30 years old. You've worked an adult job and know what it's like out here.
It's really not like that, trust me. My mom doesn't do stuff like that. She's a very caring and kind mom, and she always has been to us. She'll never deliberately hurt someone else's feelings like that.
Of course, she's the greatest mother in the whole world. For you, because you're her son. Do you really think that she was going to treat a daughter-in-law the same way she treats her son?
Did you not feel that she was trying to be nice to you? Maybe you're being delusional about it.
Did you just call me delusional?
I feel like that's exactly what's going on right now. It's true that my family has hardworking individuals. That's why we were able to have a steady income and create a decent amount of savings. My brother also works at a federal agency. I mean, being in a steady field is what's important for getting on the road to becoming rich. That's why you feel insecure when compared to all of us.
Wow, I can't believe that this is the conclusion that you've come to in the end. You talk as if you work for the president or something. I really don't want to talk bad about people like this, but you're the same person as your mom. Of course you're going to get the same type of crop if you plot its seed in the exact soil. Okay, I guess I was the dumb one here.
I want you to be a little more careful with how you word things. If you just went ahead and was nice and non-argumentative with my mom, this wouldn't have happened. You would have probably been able to get on her good side and would have had an easy rest of the life living with a rich family. I don't know why you would blow that chance away because of your ego.
So, you think I'm the problem then? Because I'm being mean and rude? Can you endure your parents going somewhere and being treated like some nobodies then?
If you're talking about my mom doing that to you, she hasn't.
Okay, if you say so and really think that way, then go ahead and keep thinking that way. I really don't understand how prejudiced you or your mom can be. Dad, I'm getting married soon. How does that make you feel?
It makes me feel like my daughter is finally keeping her word and moving out of the house so I can have more space to myself.
Oh, can't you be a little nicer today, Dad? I know you feel totally different from what you just said. You always want to say the very opposite from how you really feel.
Yeah, to be very honest, I don't really feel all too happy about this marriage. I don't know how rich these people actually are, but it still doesn't give them a reason to treat us like they did yesterday. Do you really need to get married to Timothy? When we were back home, your mom immediately started to cry. This isn't right.
I know. I don't want to get married anymore either. Not only is his mom crazy, but Timothy isn't all that better off than her. Like, what is the point of acting like that? Do they have more money than Jeff Bezos? It's all relative when it comes to who has more money than who. They all annoy me.
I agree. After all, it isn't like Timothy works as a congressman or something like that. He's just another person that happens to work for the government.
I don't know why, but at the same time they want to rush the marriage. Why? They don't even like us.
I can already tell that they're trying to use you around as a servant or something, trying to slave you out. Don't worry, I've got an excellent plan in my head to put them in their place.
Dad, what are you planning to do? I've already fought with Timothy and his mom like there's no tomorrow. They still don't know what they did was wrong. I guess it's true that you shouldn't try to change someone.
I don't like fighting anyway, but I'll take care of this on my own end, so you should worry about other things. Oh, maybe you should take a little vacation and catch some fresh air. How is the house looking like?
It's a little small, one-bedroom apartment.
And they were making all of that fuss about helping out with paying for some one-bedroom apartment? This gives me a headache. Tell them they don't need to do all of that.
Dad, I know we don't even have money like that. Don't worry about it.
I have enough money to help my daughter out with her getting a house to live in with her husband. I'm gonna call the in-laws here in a little bit and tell them that they don't need to help out, so stay put. I can't stand them looking down on us just because we don't have as much money as them.
What are you trying to do? Don't do anything crazy, Dad. It really isn't that big of a deal.
Oh, go away. I'll take care of it.
You remember that today's the day we're getting all of the furniture into the house, right? The people are going to come by here anytime to move all of the stuff into the house, so make sure to be at the house. I just got out of work, so I'll be there in a minute.
Yeah, I just got a call from the delivery people. They keep telling me to make enough space to put in all of the furniture. But like, what space? We don't even have that much space in the house to begin with.
What do you mean by that?
Nothing. I'm just saying that I know how your family is with money. And so when you said you'll take care of all of the furniture, I called your dad and told him it doesn't need to be anything crazy, so just buy used stuff, as long as it works.
Oh, I see. How considerate of you, huh?
Oh, I think they're here now. They're ringing the doorbell. Give me a second.
Yeah, my dad told me that he had something to say to you with regards to all of the money and the furniture situation.
Your dad? What does he want to talk about?
I don't know, but he wants me to invite him into this chat room. I'll have him invited when you take care of the furniture's coming in. Dad, it seems like Timothy just got all of the furniture coming in.
Yeah? I made sure that they're all new products and the best models I could find out in the market. I hope Timothy likes them too. Why did you buy such big furniture? The house isn't really that big. I don't know if they're all gonna fit in our house. Oh, is that so? I thought you were taking her to a big house to live in, so I decided to get fresh products straight out of the factory so that they'll last long enough. Is the house really that small? How small is it? It's only a one-bedroom apartment. It's in a good spot, but the size of the apartment itself isn't really all that big. A one-bedroom apartment? You decided to get married and live in a one-bedroom apartment together? I requested for a chandelier to be put into the living room too. It's a really big one. I don't know if the chandelier would even fit into the living room. We probably won't even be able to see the TV if something like that comes in. Well then, you should have gotten a bigger house. It's not just you living in the house now, is it? When we were at that meeting the one time, it sounded like you guys were planning on living in some kind of palace or something. That's why I ordered everything to be new and big so that my daughter can start a new chapter in her life. But a one-bedroom apartment? Now that's way too small for your own good. My goodness, that drawer isn't the biggest one either. Are you gonna have space to put it in? If I knew you were gonna move into a small home like that, I should have just brought everything small and used. You should have told me that the house is gonna be small from the get-go so that this wouldn't have happened. We're going to be in-laws once you guys get married. I should be knowing about something like this beforehand so that I can get appropriate gifts for you guys. Oh, babe, did you not tell him about the house before?
I forgot. I'm so sorry. The only thing that my dad heard about this whole time was the stuff that we talked about in that meeting that one time. My dad was thinking that you guys were obviously going to help out with the house with all of that talk that went on in the meeting. That's why we brought in most of the furniture. But the thing is, he didn't know that it was going to be such a small house because of the way you guys were talking about it. It made us think that we were going to move into a mansion or something.
Okay, I see. Well, I think that we'll just have to tell the people to just take it back for today because they're just not going to fit. I'm sorry, we just can't figure out a way to fit everything into the house. Is that so? Alright, I guess there's nothing we can do then. Hopefully you can figure it out. Alright.
Wow, what was that, Dad? It worked! Oh, and that was just so refreshing. Do you know how funny that was? I was laughing to myself the whole time.
I wish I could have seen him in person to see what kind of faces he would have made. I just wondered to myself about how he would have reacted if it wasn't through the phone but rather in person.
Besides that, how did you manage to get all of that expensive furniture? Are you sure that you didn't spend too much money? I hope you didn't have to get a loan or something.
No, that's not what happened, so don't worry. I don't have much money, but you know about all of the connections that I have with different people. I just went around and asked my friends who work in different furniture and electronic sales to help me out with this one and lend me the best selling options that there are. I know how you feel about this marriage. That's why you've been telling me that you won't actually get the marriage paperwork done until a little later.
Oh, Dad, I just knew that you understood how I felt. Even if you're cold and aloof about most things a lot of the times, you're such a weird dad.
This is the time for me to shine as a dad. What dad out here wouldn't do justice for their daughter when she's being put on the spot for no reason? Only the people who gave up as a dad wouldn't do anything for their children.
Dad, I'm so touched. You have no idea how I feel right now. Thank you so much. I feel like I'm going to cry.
Cry for what? Don't cry. Stand strong and live on. All it is that his family wants to do is take advantage of their position and look down on someone who doesn't have it as good as they do. They gain their self-esteem by comparing their wealth to those who are struggling with their own problems. They are losers. They won't dare to talk about breaking this marriage up now that they've learned their first lesson.
Okay, Dad. I'm so happy that you're my dad. I couldn't wish for someone else to be my dad. I want to take this chance and show off that I'm your daughter. I love you, Dad, and thank you for being here with me.
Quit with all that. I love you too.
We're moving you and Timothy into a bigger house. Are you happy now? I don't know why you would even try and show off something that you aren't even capable of doing in the first place. What was up with those overly new and fancy furniture that you brought in?
Oh, that was my dad's work. Do you have a problem with it? It was him that helped me out with all of that.
Are you really trying to nitpick on what I'm saying in this situation right now?
No, not really. I'm just trying to make sure that we know what's true and what's not true. I've noticed that you have an awful sense of being polite.
What? You better watch out with what you're saying.
I'm just trying to see that my dad was a little surprised. He thought your family were some kind of millionaires or something because of the way you kept flaunting about everything. What did you expect? I mean, it is true that you were being rude and pretentious about what position we hold in the society or whatever. That's why we were trying to make sure we hold up to the standards. But it seems like my dad is very disappointed. He didn't think that you did all of that bragging just to move us into a one-bedroom apartment. The furniture wouldn't even fit in there.
What even? That apartment wasn't even that small. What are you going on about?
Well, is the house on Timothy's name? Even if you have a lot of money, you probably got the house with a loan. Who's going to pay all that?
What do you mean, who? Of course, Timothy's going to pay for it since it's under his name.
Ah, I see. Thanks for the information. Anyway, I'll try to swap the furniture out with something smaller this time. I doubt this other house that we'll move in is going to be that much bigger.
Hey, what are you even doing with me right now? Did you take a look at the new house that I'm trying to hook you up with? What is your deal?
Babe, was that what all of this was about? I knew something was weird and out of place that day. You even invited father-in-law to the chat.
What, are you uncomfortable with my dad or something?
Stop it at once with all of this stupid petty act. Why are you acting like you have no idea what's going on? I already heard about everything from my mom. That whole thing was premeditated, wasn't it? You guys purposely bought furniture that wouldn't even fit into a one-bedroom apartment to make a fool out of us.
Wow, I was wondering if it was your IQ that was low because there was no way you hadn't caught on to that whole thing with your mom that happened back during that one time. But once again, you are extremely quick with catching on to yourself being insulted, though. It wasn't anything crazy that was planned out. I actually didn't know about it. My dad wanted to teach you a lesson for being so prideful.
So you're telling me he bought all of that stuff just to make fun of me?
Are you gullible or are you just stupid? I'm thinking that it's the latter. There's a thing called renting stupid. The truth is that my dad was successful with teaching you a lesson with just a little bit of money involved.
I don't think that this is something that can be concluded under the name of trying to teach me a lesson. I literally bought that apartment with a loan. Do you even know the interest rate on it every month?
I actually am not too sure. Probably because it isn't under my name, to be honest.
What is up with you acting out like this? You're starting to make me feel resentful towards you.
Oh, so you feel resentful toward me? Good. At least you know how I've been feeling this entire time, you jerk. I really tried to let this go and just deal with it on my own, but no. Your family is so proud of themselves and pretentious about everything, and I couldn't stop myself from thinking about what a miserable life I would live if I were to still let myself get married to you. I just wondered how much money they could really have that they're so confident with acting like this. But then you showed up with some one-bedroom apartment that told me otherwise about your family, with a huge loan to even get the house to begin with. Your house is just all bark and no bite. You guys care too much about what other people see and think about you. Your whole entire family is full of cowards.
You should really think before you say some things. You don't just call people cowards without a good reason. I feel really offended and think you should apologize with this one.
Get the hell out of here with that stupid nonsense. When your mom was out there insulting and looking down at our family, all you did was laugh and act as if nothing was wrong with that. But this? You're mad about this and offended? I'm just so happy right now that we didn't actually file the marriage papers. Actually, it's great that we didn't proceed too deep into this whole marriage process. We didn't even have a wedding ceremony yet. We should just break up. You do know that a regular breakup is far better than a divorce, right?
How are you going to talk about breakups and divorces that easily? You can't be like that. Do you even know how many years it's been since we've seen each other?
How many years? Hey, wake up. That's not love that was happening. It was patience. At least for me. I tried to believe that things would change as long as I keep telling you about the rights and wrongs because of all the times that we've spent together.
I didn't know. You didn't tell me.
What do you mean I didn't tell you? I just said I've been telling you about the rights and wrongs in our relationship. You just decided to let it go in one ear and out the other. I don't want to sit here feeling like I'm some monk who has to just refrain and have patience with everything. Let's just end everything here.
No, I don't want that. I want to live with you.
If you really want to live with me, then you should have been better with listening to other people's concerns. All you did was act selfish, and now you want to whine about wanting to get married? I've kept our relationship low-key so that only a handful amount of people would know about it. I'm glad that I kept it that way now that it's going to end. Have a fun time paying for all that interest, and I hope you're successful in finding some woman that's the exact same person as you. In the end, it turns out that they didn't even have that much money to begin with. It was just that the empty box was the one that was making all of the rattling noises. The real estate industry hasn't been doing too well, so his mom is having a hard time trying to sell the one-bedroom apartment back. They're struggling to pay all of that interest that came with it. They are getting what they deserve. On the other hand, I've been living my life and working hard in order to focus more on myself. I found a man that has a totally opposite mentality from what Timothy and his family had. It's looking like I'm going to be married next month. Thank you for watching, and please leave a like and subscribe.
Willow, I need $1,000 today. Please transfer that amount to my account as soon as you read this message. Thank you.
Hi, Patricia. Sorry, hang on. I don't get it. Why do you need that kind of money? And besides, I thought I sent you some money last month. Where did that go? And why do you want the money this time?
That's a dumb question, isn't it? I spent it all, and that's why I'm asking you now for some more. I want to join a new cooking class, and I need to pay $500 up front, so you're going to have to help me cover for that.
A cooking class? I mean, do you really need to go? And that sounds so expensive to have to pay that much up front, doesn't it? And also, why me? Can't you ask Dan for the money?
Of course not.
Why not?
I live on my retirement money, and that only just about covers our mortgage and other small expenses, and that's why I'm asking you to help me out here.
The mortgage? But Dan and I pay the mortgage every month. We make sure that you don't need to pay any of that, and same goes for the bills too. We agreed for you to chip in for the food expenses, and that's $100 a month. And that's all you have to pay for, so what do you mean by paying for the mortgage?
Oh, yes, that's right. It slipped my mind. It must be my old age and bad memory. Oops. In any case, I still need that $1,000 for the cooking class and whatnot, so please just send it soon, all right?
But what about the $1,000 that we already send you every month? That's your monthly allowance from us.
Which is clearly not enough to pay for everything I need.
But $1,000 is a lot of money. I'm not sure if we can afford to give you extra this month.
Oh, God. Are you really telling me that we're that poor that we can't afford me, your little mother-in-law, to take cooking classes? Can I live my retirement life without having to worry about all these things?
Well, sure, but I think you might also need to consider not being so lavish all the time. Not with the current economic situation, right? They're all talking about saving scraps here, right? On the news, on social media, etc. We've got to stay frugal too and save for a rainy day.
All I want to do is just enjoy my retirement life. I think you're implying that I don't deserve to do that. Is that what you're telling me? That's so rude.
No, of course, I'm not saying that. Of course you should enjoy your retirement. Everyone wants to, and everyone deserves to. But I'm just saying that we already give you $1,000 a month, and we can't give you another $1,000 on top of that. Especially if it's for you to take cooking classes as a hobby. At this rate, we're going to break the bank soon, and we've got bills and mortgages to pay, as I told you before. What did you spend the other $1,000 on anyway?
Oh, you know, this and that.
Like what?
My gym membership, the nail salon, my masseuse who gives me this wonderful aromatherapy massage, by the way, and eating out with my lovely friends and their family and everything. I've got presents to give to my grandchildren too, don't I? I can't be the strict grandmother, right? I want to always be the one who spoils the little children. Is that a good answer for you? Can you send me the money now?
Well, that's a lot of things you spend your money on. And so, do you think you still need more money for a cooking class when you've got a lot going on already?
Well, of course, this is cooking. It's not the same as all of the other things I do, is it now?
But $500 up front is a lot, don't you think?
Well, that's what they're asking for, and I'm not the one who sets the fees, am I? And why do you think I even need to take cooking classes anyway?
What do you mean? Why is that?
Because someone gives me a peasant's meal at home.
Excuse me?
I need to learn how to cook better so I can feed myself and my sons with more nutrient-dense food, since no one else seems to care. That's why. If you'd have been more considerate and a much better home cook, then I wouldn't even have to think about taking cooking classes.
Oh, wow. I don't know what to say. I didn't know that that's what you thought of my cooking.
Well, there you go. Now you know, all right? I don't even understand how Dan can even tolerate the food that you put on our table every night.
I think he appreciates it, Patricia. He seems grateful for it all the time and hasn't complained about it like the way you do.
Well, of course he would say that. He's just being polite, isn't he? He's a kind boy, just like his mother.
Right, sure, if you say so.
Excuse me?
Nothing. But anyway, Patricia, bottom line is that I don't think we can do this for you.
And what about Thomas?
What about him?
He's such a smart and handsome boy. He's looking more and more like his father by the day. Now, he's still growing. He's still growing. Don't you want him to eat proper meals so he can grow into a handsome, tough young man?
Well, he does eat proper meals, thank you very much. I'm his mother, and I know what to give him.
Well, all I'm saying is that we could all eat better at home, okay? And that starts with me taking my cooking classes.
Okay, Patricia, how about we do this? I'll go and talk to Dan about this and see what we can come up with, okay?
Lovely. He'll say yes without even thinking about it twice. Not like you stingy old cow.
Excuse me?
Well, it's important to be honest with you, and I'm telling you how I feel about you. I'm hurt that I had to justify my reasons to enjoy my own retirement, and it's embarrassing to know that I can only rely on my son and not his wife for small things like this.
Small things like this? Giving you $1,000 is a tall order, and I'm not telling you not to enjoy your retirement. I told you before, I think you should totally enjoy it. Just not at the expense of us running low on our money. Since we've got to pay the mortgage and bills like we all do.
Well, I have a stingy daughter-in-law then, don't I? Why didn't Dan marry someone more generous and kind? I really don't see what he sees in a woman like you, Willow.
I'm just trying to be more sensible with our money, Patricia. And I'm sorry that I'm no perfect daughter-in-law for you. And I'm sorry to say this, but I married Dan, not you.
Well then, I wish he had married Amanda instead of you.
Amanda? Who's that?
No one, Willow. No one.
What do you mean? Why did you say her name then? Who are you talking about?
Never you mind, Willow. Say whatever you want, but I'm going to take those cooking classes whether you like it or not.
Oh my god. Fine. Okay, Patricia. So like I said, let me talk to Dan later and then I'll get back to you.
Willow, don't forget that you need Dan, okay? He provides for you, he's a wonderful husband to you, and you can't get anyone better than him. Let's face it, he's already too good for a low-life, stingy woman like you.
Oh my god. Is that what you really think of me?
Sure it is. And you wouldn't want him to file for a divorce, right? If you don't treat me the way you should be treating me, then he's not going to like it, and he'll file for a divorce, and then we all know you'll be in trouble. So, just listen to me and send me that money, and we can continue on with our day in peace. Got it?
Fine. She's such a friggin' cow. I hate her. Hey, how are you guys doing? My name is Willow. I'm a hairstylist and I'm also a mother to my lovely son Thomas. I met my husband Dan a few years ago when he frequented my hair salon. I used to have the impression that a lot of men tend to go to the barbers to get their hair in top shape. Heck, most guys I know don't even go to the barbers. They just use hair clippers or don't care about their hair at all. Which is why I thought it was great that Dan liked to get his hair done specifically at my hair salon. It showed me that he took care of the way he looked, and he seemed to like our customer service too, which was a compliment to me and my business too. So we eventually got talking and started dating, and then, well, I'd like to say the rest is history. But sadly, things have taken a complete U-turn since we got married. Turns out that he is this narcissistic, condescending mama's boy. Now, here's the thing. I can deal with him being narcissistic. Sure, he constantly checks the mirrors when he's at home, but there's no direct harm done to me. But when it comes to him calling me names, acting all high and mighty, and constantly putting me down, now that affects me. And when it comes to his mother, oh boy. He is the textbook definition of your typical mama's boy, that's for sure. He's excessively attached to her and seems to have difficulty being independent. And of course his mom, she just loves it. I am so sick of it. I was once sent to the hospital for an emergency treatment, and he couldn't even visit me because his mom wanted to play golf with him. Crazy, right? I mean, I try really hard to please her. I really do. In fact, I do everything I can to please the both of them. But they can never be satisfied with anything I do, and I'm about to throw in the towel here. What's more, Dan's brother, Roy, is living in the same house with us too. So that means that Dan and I are married with our son Thomas, and his mom and brother live with us too. We all breathe and eat under the same roof. Roy, his brother, is unemployed and has been out of a job for as long as I've known him. Dan helps to provide for him, and I do too, but he does nothing in return. He just stays in his room all day, playing video games and leeching off my hard-earned money. Trust me, there's nothing easy about this living condition, and I hate to do this to your son Thomas. But sadly, I don't have much of a choice either. Financially, it's better for us to live together than for us to live separately with the current housing market and the increasing rent everywhere. And getting by every day is hard enough as it is. So when his mom asked for $1,000 for cooking classes, I mean, come on! I'm seriously considering a divorce, but I can't pluck up the courage because what may happen to my son if we get divorced? I've been thinking about what to do for weeks now, but then something happened that made me make my final decision. Patricia, are you there? Patricia, I forgot my keys and I can't go inside the house. Please can you open the door and let me in? Patricia, I can see the lights in there and I saw you walk into the living room. I know you're in there.
What do you want, Willow? I'm in the middle of something here and my phone won't stop ringing.
I forgot my keys and there's a huge storm out here. You can see that, right? Can you let me in, please?
Let me think.
What? What's there to think about? Let me inside!
No.
What? Patricia, why?
Well, let's see. I guess I would be attending a nice cooking class right now, but I'm not, am I? And why do you think that is?
I thought Dan spoke to you about this. We decided that it'll be absurd to spend money on your classes when we've given you $1,000 already. Can we talk about this inside, please?
And I bet it was you who decided that, not my boy.
No. We both talked about it and came to that conclusion. I promise. Please, let me inside. It's freezing out here and my fingers are about to fall off.
Good. Let them fall off. And I don't believe a word that comes out of your filthy mouth. You're a damn liar, and I know it, so shut up and stay there until you can start listening to what I say.
No, let me in, Patricia. I know everyone's in there too. Get Dan for me, or Thomas, or even Roy, please.
Oh, no. Dan and Roy are both quite drunk now. We had some great tasting pizza with some beers.
Without me?
Of course. It's better without a pest like you, isn't it? Don't worry, Thomas had a few slices too, and he's a happy boy.
Oh my God, I can't believe you're doing this to me. You've gone too far.
Look who's talking. In fact, you know what? We're all talking about you a while ago, how me, Dan, and Roy should just live together, like we did before when their father passed away.
What? What about me and Thomas?
Oh, you can take Thomas. As much as I'd like to take him, he needs his mother, so you can live with him.
No, please, let's just talk about this inside, Patricia.
Stop banging on the door. Shoo!
No, this is my house. I pay for it. Let me inside.
Speaking of that, I knew it was you who was pulling strings around here.
What do you mean?
Dan came and apologized to me about how he couldn't give me the money for that cooking class. He said he didn't have much of a choice but to listen to you, to stop you from screaming off the top of your head.
What? He really said that?
Sure he did. And he even gave me some cash on the spot. He said it's from his savings that he's been hiding in that wooden box.
A wooden box? Wait, with a gold bird on the lid?
Ah, yes, that's the one.
Wait, no, that's not his savings, that's mine! Those are my savings for Thomas for when he goes to college. That doesn't belong to Dan or you.
Ah, I did hear about how you've been saving up diligently. Well, there's plenty of cash on hand here now, thanks to that.
You're not going to take that, are you? That's stealing! That's theft!
Well, there's more than $1,000 in there. I only need $1,000, but I took another $200 extra just in case.
Just in case what? You can't do that!
Just in case I find something nice at the stores when I go shopping next time.
That's for my family, Patricia!
Well, I'll take it as an apology from you to me for treating me with disrespect.
Patricia, please stop this. It's too much. This has gone too far. Why are you doing this to me?
Get out of my face, Willow. Get out of all of our faces. We don't need a stingy witch like you around us, okay?
No. Oh my God, why are you doing this? It's not fair.
Oh, just shut the hell up already.
Fine, I'll leave. I'll move out and be gone. Just give me my son and I'll be gone, Patricia.
Oh, good. In that case, sit tight. Let me tell him to pack his bags.
Oh my God, Patricia, I can't believe you're doing this to your grandson.
I said, stay put. The more you text me, the longer it's going to take for me to help him pack his belongings and give him to you.
Fine.
Willow, what is going on here? Explain this to me.
Hi, Patricia. What do you mean?
I don't have any money in my wallet. Did you take it? Where did it go?
I'm sorry, but I have no idea what you're talking about.
You need to send me my monthly allowance, Willow. Why hasn't that come through yet? I should have gotten it by now. Where is it?
I thought we were done, Patricia. I thought I made that clear last week when you refused to let me inside the house in the middle of a storm. I no longer live with you, and I no longer take care of the house. I don't even consider myself to be Dan's wife, which means I don't have any obligation to look after you, and I don't need to send you money either.
No, this is absurd. I'm not going to ask my son for money. Roy doesn't even have a job.
Well then, tough luck.
No, I'm not going to sit back and let this happen. I'm going to add Dan here and we'll talk about this.
Willow, it's me, Dan.
Oh, hi, Dan.
I need you back in my life, Willow.
What?
I'm sorry. Listen, I'm really sorry, okay?
For what?
Just the way I've been treating you. You said you'd forgive me if I sent you all of the boxes from the house to your new apartment.
No, I never said I'd forgive you, Dan. I said I'll talk to you if you send them to me.
Fine, and I did, didn't I? I kept my end of the deal, so come on, Willow. Oh, please, take me back.
Well, sure, I'll keep my end of it too. So let's talk here.
Okay, fine. Well, I was drunk out of my mind that night. I told you we had pizza with some beers and we just kept having more. I don't remember you being outside, and I don't remember that storm happening either. I was that drunk. You've got to believe me.
It's a little too late for that now.
Dan, stop acting like a henpecked husband. Be a man and stop being so submissive.
Mom, we need Willow. We can't get by without her. Don't you get it?
That's not true at all. How dare you think like that? Of course we can get by without her. We always have and we always will. You earn enough to provide for all three of us. You, Roy, and me.
No, Mom, you don't understand. I never told you this, but I never paid for the house. Willow was the one who pays for everything.
What? What the heck does she pay for? She doesn't contribute to anything in this house. It's all you, isn't it?
No, Mom, she pays for literally everything.
Including your monthly allowance of $1,000 a month too, might I remind you?
What? Is this some kind of sick joke?
No, Mom, I don't have any money. I mean, I don't earn as much as Willow does. My company's a small company. And my role isn't exactly the most lucrative job out there.
What? I thought you worked in a prestigious, well-known trading company.
No, I don't, Mom. Not anymore. And I got made redundant the other day.
What? You got fired? Oh my God, why didn't you tell me this before, Dan?
Mom, I got made redundant, and that's different to being fired. I didn't want to upset you.
So where do you get all the money from then?
I get it from Willow. I work for her now, at her hair salon.
No, you don't.
I do now, Mom.
Is this true, Willow?
Yes, my manager left and I took over and now I run it myself. I'm about to open up another brand too, so I'll be running 2 hair salons.
I work at the reception there, Mom.
No, you do not. Not you, Dan. You're far more capable than that.
Excuse me? Are you belittling my job, Patricia? When it's my job that's been providing for you? I don't think so. And anyway, Dan, I told you you're fired now. Don't forget to tell your mom that part.
What? Dan, is that true?
Yeah, I got fired, I guess. That's why I told you that we need to take Willow back.
Oh my God, I don't believe what I'm hearing.
She's practically been paying for everything all along, Mom.
Then why did you lie to me?
I didn't.
He just wanted to show off and gloat, Patricia. He's a mama's boy, remember? He doesn't think of anything but ways to impress you all day.
Mom, she was gonna hire Roy to help set up that other new hair salon. He would have had a job then too. But now you chucked her out, that is not gonna happen. So do you see why I'm trying so hard to get her to come back to us here?
What do you mean? Roy would have a job at the hair salon?
That's right, Patricia. He would have, but not anymore.
Oh, no, Willow. Listen, dear. Oh, gosh, this isn't where we want to be, right? We can't let this happen. I had no idea about all of this. I just found out here. This is crazy. If I had known about this, I wouldn't have done anything to upset you. Oh, Willow, what can I say?
How about an apology?
Oh, well, sure. I'm so sorry, dear.
For what?
Let's not push your luck here, okay?
Mom!
Fine. Willow, I'm sorry for the way I've been treating you. That was wrong of me.
I need you to tell me exactly in detail what you mean by that.
Why,
Mom, please, just do this for all of us.
Fine. Fine, Willow. I'm sorry for the name-calling, for the disrespect, and for not letting you inside the house during that storm last week. And for all the times I've mistreated you. You deserve better.
Exactly. I do deserve better, don't I?
Yes, and we can make things better together, Willow. Baby, please.
Oh, please. Don't do that. I don't need you to butter me up now. It's too late. Everything is too late. You've all pushed me over the edge, and it's too late for anything now. And anyway, I know you've been cheating on me behind my back, Dan.
What? Who told you that?
Amanda, was it? She worked in an advertising company or something?
Who told you?
None other than the big mouth Patricia, of course.
What? Mom?
It just slipped, darling. I didn't mean to tell her, honey.
Mom! What the heck do you think you're doing? What the heck is wrong with you?
Well, if you ask me, I think you'd make a great couple. And at least she works part-time. You can ask her for money now instead of me.
Part-time? No, she's full-time.
Oh, no, she isn't. I dug up some information on her on LinkedIn and follow her on Instagram, and from what I can tell, she's working there part-time.
Damn it, Willow, please. You gotta believe when I say this. I am done with her, okay? I won't see her anymore.
Oh, just because now you know that she doesn't have the money, or because you know that I earn more than her?
Oh, come on. You're way better than her, man.
Yes, you are, Willow. Come on, dear. Let's all turn over a new leaf here.
No, I don't think so. As for you, Patricia, you can live on your retirement money from now, as you should have done all this time.
I told you, the retirement money I receive is meager. It's not enough to live comfortably at all. Please, Willow, we all need you here. We all love you, and we all need you. We all promise that things will be different now, right, Dan?
Yeah, totally. Things are gonna be way better than it used to be, babe. What do you say?
I'd say get lost. To hell with all of you. If you thought you could all come crawling back to me, then spare me. I want nothing, and I mean nothing, to do with you all. You're just leeches who used me for my hard-earned money. You disrespect me, you insult me, you're the worst people I've ever met in my entire life. So no, I'm done with all of you.
Darling, what about Thomas? He needs his father, surely.
Yeah, exactly. How's he gonna feel knowing he can't see his old man?
Oh, please. Fry in hell. He's much better off without you, and I'll make sure it stays that way.
You can't do that to my son. He's my son.
Oh, shut up. Stop acting like the good dad now when you've mistreated him too. He doesn't even like you.
What?
That's right. He told me himself, so make that too. We're both better off without you. He hates you too, Patricia. He's seen you attack me and insult me. You think he doesn't hear it from his bedroom? He's old enough to know what's going on in this family, or so-called family. He's the one who suggested me to get a divorce as well.
He did? No. No, he didn't.
Yep, he did. And if you really love Thomas and think about his well-being, then you'd sign those papers.
No, come on, Willow, please.
Yes, Willow, why don't we all have a family meeting, Doesn't that sound good? I can make us some coffee and dessert. How about that?
Oh, take a hike, Patricia. I told you, I'm done. You do what you want, but I'm going to proceed with the divorce and move on with my life, with Thomas. Thanks for nothing, and stay the heck away from our lives.
Willow? Come on, let's all talk in person. Willow! Mom, she's not reading our messages anymore. I think she's left.
Oh, dear. What are we going to do?
I don't know, Mom. What are we gonna do?
I managed to get my divorce finalized after about 3 months. That took long enough, didn't it? I don't think I ever want to get married again, not after this train wreck of a marriage. Because I used to earn more than Dan, and he was the one who needed financial support after the separation, he could have filed to receive alimony from me. But my lawyer, who was great convinced him otherwise, and I'm so relieved about that. I know that Dan, Roy, and Patricia would have wanted to scam all of my money off of me if they could, but they couldn't afford a lawyer while I could, and that was my advantage. I also heard that Dan and his lover Amanda broke up for good. Not that that's of any interest to me. I also heard that since none of them can afford to pay off the mortgage for the house, they now have no choice but to move out. But wherever they go, as long as they stay the heck away from me, I'm all good. And now it's just me and my good old son. Well, hey! Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like it and see you in the next one.